Hi guys, welcome to Android Guider. So in this video we will be checking out the Discovery ROM. So this ROM is based on Android Nougat 7.1.2, which is the latest maintenance release of Android. This ROM also packs in the latest April 5, 2017 security patch as well, and the SC Linux status of the stock kernel is permissive by default. Moreover, as you can see that the kernel version it is based on the latest Linux version, which is 3.10.105. So that's a big plus. And this is an official build of the ROM for the Redmi Note 3. Okay, so first up we have the volume rocker settings. So from in here you can use the volume keys to wake up the device. You can use the volume keys to skip the music tracks when the device is locked. So that is what playback control is. Then you can also use the you can also long press the power button when the device is off to turn on the torch. Then we have double tap to launch the camera when the device is locked. The fingerprint authentication vibration when you have successfully unlocked your device using the fingerprint. You can, if you want your device to vibrate, then you can enable this option. Then we you can enable the screen. You can enable or disable the screenshot sound. And in the end, we have the three finger gesture for taking a screenshot. Again, if you just clearly want to have a look at that, there we go. Then we have the button settings. So from in here you can enable or disable the on-screen navigation bars. And we also have the one-handed mode. So if you may remember, then during the lollipop days, the Discovery ROM, which was previously known as the Hazy ROM, they had recently renamed themselves as the Discovery ROM. So back in the lollipop days, Hazy ROM was one of the very few ROMs which had the one-handed mode. And in fact, back then they also had the hazy camera. But unfortunately they don't have the hazy camera in anymore. The ROM now has the stock AOSP based camera. So again, I, I'm still quite clueless why they haven't gone ahead and uh, why they haven't included the hazy camera, because back in lollipop and marshmallow days, one of the flagship features of the hazy ROM was their camera application. Anyways, so we do have this one-handed mode. So using this you can simply swipe to the edge of the screen. Again, sorry, I have to enable that. Then yeah, so there we go. So slide your finger across the navigation bar to switch between to the standard and mini screen views. So again, and then you can also touch outside the screen to exit the mini screen views. Again, so they have gone ahead and included a ton of options. uh, and I think we can also, well, okay, so as you can see, the yeah, the one-handed mode works now, but I can't get it to the mini size and the nano size, which it was mentioning. Let's give it another shot. Yeah, okay, so this just might be one of those bugs. But yeah, the Discovery ROM team, they are doing weeklies. So there is one new build of the ROM every week. And over the last few weeks, since the ROM was since they had announced their Nougat based builds, the team has been working really hard, and they have been adding new features to the ROM every week. With the each and every weekly, the ROM has also been becoming more stable and enriched in terms of features. Okay, so I will disable the on-screen navigation bar now. Okay, and now then you can enable or disable the backlit keys if you have a Samsung or a Xiaomi device which has backlit keys, or even a OnePlus device. Then this option will come in handy. Then you can enable or disable the home button to wake the device. If you want that, then you can just simply tap on the home button to wake up your device. Then disable the home button vibration on pressing. Again, you can configure that. Then we can configure the long press action, the double tap action of with of the various hardware keys. Again, well, if you just want to have a look at the list of actions from which you can choose from, then this is what we have in here. Again, so you can use the one-handed mode on the left and the right hand side. Then we also have the split screen mode, search assistant, voice search, and a ton of options in here. Okay, so that's all what we have in here. And since this ROM doesn't include the DUI package, the Dirty Unicorns interface package, you won't be able to sorry, the DUI package. I guess I said that only, the dirty unicorn interface package. So since this ROM doesn't include that, you won't be able to customize the short press, long press, and the double tap actions of the navigation bar buttons. But if you have a device with hardware keys, then you would be able to do all that. Then next up we have the clock and the date settings. So using this master switch, you can uh, hide the clock from the status bar entirely, as you can see. Then if you want to show the seconds, you can do that. You can configure the position of the clock, right, center, or left. Then we have the AM/PM style as well, and we have got a bunch of settings for that. This is the normal font style. So this is the small one, sorry, and this is the normal one. Then we have similar font styles for the date as well. um, then we have got a bunch of date styles. This is the normal one, this is the lowercase one, and this is the uppercase one. And then you can configure the position of the date, left of time or right of time. And then in the end we have got a bunch of date formats from which you can choose any. A lot of options in here, you can choose anyone if you want to. Okay, moving on, we have the status bar settings in. So you have got double tap to sleep on the status bar, and then we have the uh, network traffic settings. So you can either show the outgoing, incoming, or both the data rate exchanges. Then you can configure the display unit, bits per second or bytes per second, update interval. Then you can hide the arrows from the traffic indicators, and then you can auto hide the network traffic indicators when there's no data exchange going on. And if you enable that, you can configure that inactivity threshold. What should be that data rate exchange limit below which the network traffic indicators should get hidden. Then we have some lock screen tweaks. You can unlock your device just with the fingerprint after rebooting. So most of the times when you have rebooted your device, you will have to unlock your device using the fingerprint first. Or if you try to unlock your device using the fingerprint, then for authentication purposes you will have to also enter your pin or pattern lock. So just to, if you wish to disable that option, you can just enable this. Then we have got double tap to sleep anywhere on the lock screen. Again, that's a great option. Then we have got the advanced quick settings option. So single pressing will activate or deactivate of a function. Again, we'll just take a look at that. So using this, we can just enable or disable the Wi-Fi quickly. Or if you wish to view further Wi-Fi settings, you can simply just long press on that quick settings toggle, and it will take you into that advanced layout option. Or when you just disable this option, it directly takes you into that advanced layout. But if you just wish to single tap to disable the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or anything like that, then you should enable this option. Then we have the quick pull down, right, left, or everywhere. You can configure that. Then we have you can configure the battery icon style. Again, we got a lot of options in here. Again, you can check all of them out. This is the circle one, this is the big circle, this is the full circle. Or if you just want to show the text, you can do that. Anything, I just prefer to have the circle one in. Then you can show or hide the battery percentage. Then we have got a bunch of LED settings. You can configure the battery, the charging light when the battery is charged up to 90%, 100%, low battery bar. Again, notification LED. Again, you can configure uh, whether you want to have that LED on when the screen is on, or if you want to use some custom values, lights in do not disturb mode. You can configure all that. But what I'm trying to I haven't seen the LED customizations in many ROMs lately. Even Resurrection Remix, I didn't come across the LED configurations in Resurrection Remix too. So again, back in Marshmallow, we had that dotted circle and double tap to sleep on the navigation bar, which was missing from some of the ROMs. And now we have some the basic LED configurations. But again, you can obviously download third-party apps from the Google Play Store to configure uh, the LED lights. But again, it's really nice to see this setting baked directly into the ROM. Then again, lastly, I would like to mention that you can also, I guess, we had this reset button. If you wish to reset your battery icon, the battery LEDs, then you can just simply tap on this reset button, and you would be good to go with the default settings. Then this ROM does ship with Substratum, and they have even included the Substratum app directly into the ROM. So again, that's great to see. And if you just if you use a custom build of Substratum, then or if you are on a beta build of substratum, then you would like to make sure that you have this force authorize every theme option checked in. So this is required for authorizing some signature on the beta build. So if you are a beta tester for the substratum theme engine, then make sure you have this force authorize every theme app checked in. We will be covering the developer options later on. And then for root access, we have the Magisk Manager, or however may we pronounce that as Magisk or Magisk, I don't know. Anyway, moving on, then we have the display settings. You can configure the brightness level, adaptive brightness. They have included the night light in as well, so you can configure the custom schedule, sunset to sunrise, and basically the night light settings. You can configure all that stuff. Then we have the sleep time mode settings. Minimum limit is 15 seconds, and the maximum one is 30 minutes. And then if you want to configure the wallpapers, the ROM doesn't come with any live wallpapers, so the only wallpaper which we have in is this one. So you will have to you will have to download wallpapers from some source, or maybe use a wallpaper app from the Google Play Store for setting wallpapers. Then you can configure the screensaver. We have ambient display in as well. You can configure that font size. Again, basic. These are the stock Nougat settings. You can configure the display size too, all that stuff. And then when the device is rotated, and all those options. And then we have cast in the end. Then we have the notification settings. Again, nothing new in here. I had covered everything up of this sort in my initial Nougat review. Again, I will have that. If you want to know more about the basic settings of Android Nougat, then I had done a complete review of that in my Lineage OS 14.1 review. So I will have a link of that put down below in the description box if you in case if you want to know more about the features which were introduced in Android Nougat, then do check that out. Then we have the sound settings. You can configure the media alarm and the ringtone volume, vibration for calls, do not disturb settings, and then you can configure the ringtones as well. And under other sounds, we have the dial pad tone, screen locking sounds, charging sounds, touch sound, and vibrate on tap. Then we have the apps. Again, if you want to take a quick look at that, then these are the apps which we have. The AZ screen recorder wasn't present in the ROM by default. I had to install it. Then we have the AOSP camera. We have a calendar application in as well. The stock file browser, and then the gallery app. We will be taking a look at that as well. The launcher 3, the ROM has its has the stock launcher. I think it isn't the Google Pixel launcher. uh, when we just check out the settings of the launcher, then we only have one setting in here, that is to enable or disable the home screen rotation. And just quickly, if you want to check out the various widgets which we have in here, then this is what we have a gallery widget for the gallery the setting screenshot, and a messaging one. Okay, so that's all what had in the we have in the launcher settings. Then we'll be taking a look at the gallery app later on, as I had mentioned. Then Magisk Manager is in there, messaging app, a phone dialer app, settings, and the substratum app. Okay, then moving on, I think we'll just take a quick look at storage. So I have always mentioned this, that uh, Android Nougat now, the built-in file manager in Android Nougat, that does allow you to install the APK files directly from the stock file browser. So as you can see, we can directly install any APK file from the stock file browser. And the stock file browser also uh, supports decompressing of the, I think if we have any .zip file in here, I would like to show that to you. Okay, so let's check out the expose installer. Again, so you can see that this was a flashable zip file for uninstalling exposed framework on Marshmallow. I still have that because I continuously shift between Marshmallow and Nougat based ROMs. So yeah, as you can see, we can even decompress archived files, or .zip files, .rar files as well. Both of them work. So again, that's one of the basic features which we have in Android Nougat. And again, since this is a really very lightweight ROMs, and it won't be occupying much of the system partition, you should have ample free space on your internal storage. uh, Again, then we have the battery settings. You can enable or enable or disable the battery saver whenever you want to. This ROM is based on AOSP. And then you have the battery optimization and the usage alerts. Okay, so that's all what we have in the battery settings. Then users, again, I have made a point to mention this in each and every ROM review that I do. You must ensure that you include this emergency information in here. So if god forbid, if you run into any accident, or if anything happens to you, then this emergency information can end up in saving your device. So if you have a device which is secured by a pattern lock or a fingerprint or a pin, then again, this is the kind of information which can be shown to any which will be accessible to any stranger even when your device is locked. So you just have to fill up this information: your name, address, blood type, allergies, medications, organ donor, medical notes, etc. And then if you want to add any emergency contacts, then you can do that. And all this information would be can be accessed even from a secure lock screen. So that is what the point is. So just make sure that no matter which Nougat based ROM you use, just make sure that you fill out this emergency information. Then under gestures, we have double tap the power button to open the camera. Again, we had that option under the discovery settings as well. Then we have the security settings. Unknown sources is checked in by default. So again, you don't have to you don't have to enable that for side loading your apps. And then in here we have this lock screen message, and you can configure the lock screen type as well. Again, yeah, so they only have the 3 by 3 lock screen. um, okay, lastly, we have the developer options and the system UI tuner. Okay, so we have those basic settings. OEM unlocking is checked in by default. Then we have the demo mode in here. USB debugging, so make sure you enable that uh, if you plan to use titanium backup for restoring your apps. Then you can even select any app for faking your GPS location. Then force authorize every theme app. If you are a beta tester for substratum, then make sure that you have enabled this option for to get your themes working. Then we have the Wi-Fi settings, show touches. Then the animation settings are in there, and again, you can customize the smallest width attribute to customize your device's DPI. Uh, then we have got a bunch of GPU settings. And then force allow apps on external. So make sure that if you want to use your external SD card for storing your apps data, then make sure that you enable this. So this will just help you uh, in saving some precious space on your internal storage. And then lastly, we have the system UI tuner. Okay, uh, so first up, you can enable or disable the brightness icon in the quick settings panel. You can just enable or disable that. Then we have the status bar settings. So from in here, you can enable or disable any icon which you wish to show entirely. Okay, so just say I will just enable Wi-Fi. And we even have the VOLT option in right in the end. And yeah, so say if I just wish to hide the Wi-Fi icon, then I can just simply check this off, and the Wi-Fi icon gets hidden. When I just enable it again, it reappears. So from in here, you can do anything of that sort. We even have that headset option in. So if you want to show the headset icon in the status bar when you have connected your headsets, so if you want to enable that, you can. Then we have got show with the volume controls, the volume button shortcut. Okay, so from in here, you can this was the I will first up just disable that option. And now when I access the volume panel, you can't see that uh, uh, the do not disturb mode. And when I just enable this option, okay, you can see the do not disturb mode in there. And then obviously you have that volume button shortcut. So when you have decreased the volume down, it will automatically enter the do not disturb mode. Okay, so then moving on, then you have the navigation bar settings. So you can again, I had covered up this in my lineage OS review as well, but again, I'll just take a couple of moments and just wrap up this navigation bar editor. So the spacer, basically it just if I just remove this, then you can. Oh, okay, First up, I will have to enable the navigation bar keys from the discovery settings. So just go quickly and we will enable the software keys. Okay, sorry, system UI tuner, and then we go to navigation bar settings. So if you see that, if we disable this, then you can see that so the spacer is for indentation purposes only. It is used for spacing up, for leaving space from the margins and between the adjacent navigation bar buttons. So if you just want to do that, that is what spacer is meant for. Then we have the home key, the overview key, and the menu keyboard switcher. Again, this option is not always shown. We have this the menu or keyboard switcher will only be shown when you are typing some text. Okay, but again, you can even reposition buttons if you want to. If you just simply want to do that, and then you click save, you can see the changes. And so these are the buttons which are enabled by default, and these are the ones which you can add on: home, overview, spacer, the clipboard button, and the key code button. Again, the clipboard is something which it allows the items to be directly copied to and fro from the keyboard, from the clipboard. I will just be covering that option up. And then in the end we have the key code. Again, this is pretty much self-explanatory. Key code buttons allows the keyboard keys to be added to the navigation bar. When pressed, they emulate the selected keyboard key. First, the key must be selected for the button, followed by an image to be shown on the button. Okay, so first up, you can just click any button which you want to be emulated. Say if I just pick 3, then you will have to pick maybe a screenshot, sorry, pick an image, and then that function or that keyboard function will be emulated. Again, that's basic stuff. I have reset all the sorry, yeah, so we have resetted the, and now I'll just simply add the clipboard button. Tap on save, and I'll just maybe just let's say I'll just tap in hi here, and I'll just maybe just copy it. And then let's say if I'm just typing something, and just say if I wish to paste that the high which I had copied, then I can just simply insert that using this by dragging it from the clipboard button. And if you want to just copy something, you can simply drag it back into the clipboard. So that's what this clipboard button is aimed for. Again, I will just reset the navigation bars, and there we go. Okay, so I guess that pretty much wraps up the settings menu. Then we'll just take a quick look at the quick setting toggles which we get. So these are the quick setting tiles which are enabled by default, and these are the bunch which you can add on from location hotspot. So a lot of options in here. The screenshot option is present in here, and then we have the float UI from the substratum app, and again, showcase from the substratum app. So these are all the quick setting tiles you can add on. And if you ever wish to reset it to the stock layout, you can just press that three dot side menu and just tap on the reset option. Then so this is all what we have. Again, I had shown you guys the AOSP based camera. uh, you know Although I would have liked to see the hazy camera in, but they apparently I think they won't be including the hazy camera in the next few builds. At least that's what it looks like. um and lastly, I had to show you guys the gallery app. So this is what the gallery app can do. Again, if you just you can crop the picture, set the picture as the wallpaper or something like that. Then under settings, you can show in random order, repeat, delay. You can customize the delay timer, and if you wish to have a slideshow in, then you can configure that. And then under edit, you can if you want to just have any filter for your image, you can do that. If you want to add some sort of frame, you can even do that. Then again, we have got a bunch of other settings. Rotate the image, mirror the image, draw something over it, maybe blah blah blah. You can just do anything. And you can even pick any color of your choice to write on from this nice color picker which we have in here. uh, Style, size, color, or you can just clear it, whatever you want to do. And then lastly, you can configure the image color in general, the auto color, exposure. You can configure all that stuff. So the image editor in the ROM is also highly feature rich. And if you want to just save this image, you can just simply tap on that, reset information, show applied effects, export, print, and all that. Okay, so great, some great options in here. And then you can just share this image, view general information, and just delete this image. So yeah, a lot of options in here. And again, if you just want to in general select album, and again under settings you can see all that basic stuff. Slideshow the option, you can just directly access the camera application from in here. And you can sort them by albums, location, times, and type. And uh, and then if you wish to change the viewing order, then you can do all that stuff. Okay, so I guess uh, this pretty much sums up this ROM review. I don't think that I have missed out on anything in particular. So yeah, I guess this pretty much wraps up this video. So in case you like this video, hit that like button. And if you want to get a notification whenever we upload our next video, then do subscribe to us. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.